So I'm designing a new line. Last year, too involved in what was happening in politics. A design that I like a lot. It's kind of a long sleeve mesh top. It has kind of a lettuce, what we call like a lettuce. And my seam is there. Kind of actually the sleeve's longer than I thought it would be. We'll see when the sample comes in. So those are my shapes that I'm thinking about. I'm also thinking about my collar, my detachable collar. It's this flesh color, and it does look very, very cool. I think for the skirt, it would be nice black because I feel like then I could put like a sandal, or I feel that it looks too cartoon Halloween. Be black, this beautiful little see-through, not see-through, but like kind of gauzy black. I was thinking about chartreuse and black, which is my favorite color combination. Style that's updated and interesting and different. It's not like every gothic shirt. It has a lot of black, but is not all black. But I like this idea of this mock plaid and these sort of hanging upside down hearts, and then a striped area here that makes it look like there's sort of a boxed out collar. I'm liking this, and I think the thing, I work very intuitively, so I meditate and I sort of look for images to appear. I like this idea of these long upside down hearts, which just really feels like the world right now. It's a bit, the mock plaid is coming up, which I think is a quiet nod to Victoria McKenzie-Childs, who just died. And it's been, you can tell by my posts, like I'm really upset. I grew up, you know, around the same time in upstate New York when they had their business. And I started mine in '87, and I remember people, I would say, well, I live on a 100-acre farm in upstate New York. And they would say, oh, you're just like McKenzie-Childs. And I thought, well, who's that? At that time, we just didn't have the internet or computer. So it was just word of mouth. And then the more I heard about it, I thought, oh my God, that sounds amazing. And I assumed that their success was just ongoing. I sort of have a vague memory of seeing Victoria in New York at the gift show going by. Then I heard that they bought a boat, and I thought it was kind of an extra thing, like a play toy. I really had no idea what had happened in the early 2000s with their line. And a similar thing almost happened to me. And I think this woman got the idea from McKenzie-Childs. She kept messaging me. She wanted me to be on QVC. But I didn't know at the time what had happened to Victoria and Richard. I assumed they were doing well and still had control of the company. And I only found out about it when this film was made a couple of months ago about them on this boat. I thought, oh my God, what is going on? And the more I was digging into it, I found a video of Victoria sitting up in a tree telling the story. And I think she didn't want to be impolite, which I could sort of identify with her personality pretty strong. And her sense of being magical and not wanting to take what had already been done and push against it. I think she was very spiritual, and she didn't believe in that. Very, very special, very, very kind, very magical. It hurt me so bad to see her husband crying. What is happening here? And the McKenzie-Childs brand being celebrated and bought by people not knowing the story, I realized. And now she's just passed away. And I think her husband has Alzheimer's. And I'm sure the stress of what happened to them contributed to poor health. And it just, you know, she was saying that they took even the rights to their names, and they went into the studio one day. They had like 400 employees. They were just a phenomenon, and the employees were instructed not to look at them, not to talk to them. And then they were told in the office that they no longer owned the company and that they needed to pack their things and leave. But even their car was taken, and they had to walk like 7 miles home up a hill. And I really just had no idea about this, because they really represented in the 80s, at that time, and I'm sure it affected me, that an artist could be a brand, not just a craft artist. And they were just massive. So I'm sure that had an effect on me. And I'm really, really sad to think that they suffered. It just it keeps playing in my mind. I even had a dream about her, and what's happened to these artists and how unfair and how long it's taken for the truth to come out makes me very sad.